So you were at the studio in North Hollywood, I believe the story was?
Yeah, Hollywood.
Okay. So just at the studio, regular night.
Yeah.
Were you with anybody high profile or anybody who would attract an extra amount of attention, or was
No.
it pretty low key?
It's pretty low key.
Okay. And so then you get in the car at like what time?
I want to say probably like 11 o'clock.
And nothing out of the ordinary happened the whole time you're in the studio or anything? Completely normal night?
Completely normal night.
Okay. And then you hop in the car and you drive, I don't know if you want to say like approximately where you live, but will you drive like 20 minutes
the
or something?
The news and TMZ and everyone blasted my address everywhere, so that's not where I live anymore.
Oh, okay. But you drove like what, 20 minutes?
10 minutes.
Right.
Yeah.
And so then you pull, was it like a driveway or like where are you pulling in when the shit starts to unfold?
I pull into my driveway, and there was a car parked like 3-4 houses down.
Okay.
And like I'm from the streets, like I double the block all the time. I'm paranoid. I know, what I'm saying. I'm looking in the rearview mirror. When a car in Los Angeles is so packed, there's so many houses. Like if a car is parked 3-4 houses down with their headlights on, like you don't think that, like you don't think to,
right.
So
it might spark a little something in your brain, but it's not going to be like, oh, that's.
I'm thinking it's the neighbors.
Yeah.
And I don't have any ops. I don't beef it with nobody. I don't gangbang, like none of that. Like all I do is provide for my people and put everybody I possibly can in position. Like I'm very open with, I'm a really genuine person. So I'm not thinking nothing like that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But I do have jewelry. And I am a high-profile person, especially in North Hollywood and in the Valley where I'm from.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm always paranoid, but 3-4 houses down it's not written in the rules of the streets to double the block if there's a car in packed-ass North Hollywood.
Right. And so you had all your jewelry on?
Yeah.
How much, if you had to estimate?
Just my one, the big Cuban with the 818 Wakko.
Okay.
Should weigh like 600 grams.
Okay. So you had a significant amount of money on you.
Yeah,
basically.
For sure.
Right. And so what is it? You pull into the parking lot or?
I pull in the driveway of my house.
Okay.
And I get out the car, and there wasn't really any talking. Like the second I got out the car, my engineer, my boy Caleb Perez, he opened the passenger seat car. Like, all right, so basically I get out the car, and I look, and they're running up tactical, like crouched down with masks on with like 2 or 3 people pointed guns at me, right? So I'm automatically like, all right, yo, you know what I'm saying? I put my hands up, y'all beat me to the draw, like I can't do nothing.
Right.
So my boy don't really know what's going on. He didn't really hear nothing because they was trying to keep it quiet. So when my boy opened the passenger seat, I think it just scared him, bro. And they just started opening fire, bro. And
because that's the scenario we always think of is like, if somebody ran up on me trying to rob me like that, and I could just be like, here, yeah, take my shit.
Yeah,
I mean, that's kind of like the dream scenario of getting robbed. Like if you're able to just walk away from it, fuck it. Like, I'll forget about the chain. I'll try to never think about the shit again.
We learn from these situations.
Exactly, right.
There wasn't too much
conversation.
Too much talking, yeah.
It was like almost immediate because they didn't realize your boy was going to be getting out of the car.
Yeah, I think they thought, and my boy is the coolest kid in the world. He's just an audio engineer,
Okay.
But they don't know what's going on, and they know the type of people I be with, and they know I have security, and they know that, you know what I'm saying?
You have security at times?
Absolutely. Like, they're my family.
Okay.
And close friends, but to the outside, you know what I'm saying, they look like security.
Right.
Like, I be with OGs. I don't be with a lot of young people at all. My whole immediate crew is all 50 years old plus.
Right.
So from the outside looking in, yeah, no, it looks like I be with security everywhere I go.
Right.
So they thinking they probably finna get shot at,
Right.
So they pretty much start. I don't know if you want to, I know you have your own questions. I don't know if you want me to just keep going.
Wherever you want to go with this, because like, okay, they unload on you. Do you know how many bullets were shot?
I got shot in the stomach.
Okay.
And then my immediate response was run around the hood of the car to the front of the car. And then I got shot in. All right, so detectives and the police, like, apparently they can't tell exactly what's what in that situation. So either one of the bullets in my stomach for sure came out my back. And then we don't know if another one did that or the other bullet hole in my back was a shot itself.
Right.
So either way, so I have a bullet hole in my back and 2 in my stomach. and 4 grazes on my arm that are all like took like a good, like a little top of the ice cream off. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
basically, I run around the hood of the car, and my instinct was to climb under the hood so I couldn't get shot in the head.
Right.
That was like my automatic instinct. So basically, at that point, the only real conversation was I was like, "Don't kill me over a chain." And they was like, "Give me your chain then." And the motherfucker ripped at it as hard as he could, and it's a 20 millimeter Cuban, and it weighs 600 grams.
So it's tough to break the link.
Exactly. But I was kind of like, I didn't really know what the fuck was going on. So they take off running, and I didn't know. At the time, I thought they got it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember unlinking it after he did that. I remember unlinking it, but I don't know what happened after that. I run to the front of the driveway, and I called 911 myself. And I remember getting on the phone, and I just felt a giant squirt of blood come out of my back, and I like kind of collapsed, and I'm laying on my back, calling the police, and or calling the ambulance, whatever it is. And them motherfuckers was there in 30 seconds, coming 100 miles an hour with no headlights on.
So they were there super fast.
They were there super fast. Wow. So for 2 weeks in the hospital or whatever, like 11 days, whatever, I'm thinking my chain gone. So the detectives give us the paperwork or whatever the fuck, or the police, like, all my belongings, because they cut me naked. When the police was like, "Where you hit?" I was like, "I don't know." You know what I'm saying? So they cut me naked in the middle of the street. So my wallet, my phone, like everything in my pockets, like all that goes into like belongings, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I have $15K in my pocket.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So when I finally get the list of shit back, it's my chain and my pendant is written on that shit. So they ain't even get my chain. The police got it, you know what I'm saying, in the end of the day. So that shit was like...
So they did all this and they didn't get anything out of you?
26 shots is what the police said was fired. And I was hit with a 50 cal in my arm multiple times. And I guess it was a 9 millimeter or some shit like that in my stomach and back.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just so mind-blowing that, like... A, that people would be willing to do this just to try to get a chain or whatever it was.
Yeah, for sure.
And that B, that it could go that wrong. And it's like,
talk about a botched robbery.
That's what I'm saying. When you picture somebody robbing somebody, you just picture them like doing the least amount of violence that they need to do in order to get whatever they're trying to get. And this is
The
like
last case scenario is
25 shots and they didn't get anything. It's kind of mind-blowing. Are you saying they didn't get anything?
Yeah, they ain't get shit.
Wow.
They ain't get shit. And like, yeah, I mean, fuck them. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day.
Right, but so you really had no enemies or anything? So
nothing, no clue.
This is complete mystery to you, who this could have been.
Complete mystery.
It's just the same shit that you always hear about people getting robbed by Beverly Hills, whatever, anybody with a chain getting ran down on, et cetera, huh?
Yep.
Does it make you think differently about how you move around? Like, I mean, in terms of... like having that much jewelry on and stuff, it seems like it's kind of a liability.
It's not, that shit, especially in the tension in LA, as you know, all the shit that's been going on.
Right.
A lot of people been killed and robbed recently. It seems like like something that's going on right now. Like a lot of people are like, nah, we just finna kill them and take it or whatever.
Right.
And so far, all these different times since this happened to me, they got shot less than half as many times as me and died.
Wow.
So it's really a miracle. And speaking of miracles, like I spoke to God, like myself, and I don't expect nobody in the world to ever understand it unless they've been through a near-death experience.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But on some real shit, I spoke to him, my motherfucking self.
What was the conversation like?
It was more a feeling than a conversation, but it was like ascend. And it wasn't sad, it wasn't funeral, it was beautiful. Like, come with me. And like my hair standing up, even talking about it. But it's like, it was not sad. It wasn't death. It was like ascend, join me, or music. It wasn't go home and be normal. It wasn't go back and just fuck off again. It was like, you can have your dreams. Like personally, me to him, he told me everything I ever wanted in all my dreams. This shit can make me cry, dog, for real. Anything I ever wanted is on a silver platter, bro. All I got to do is work for it and go get it, bro. You know what I'm saying? And that was I don't want to say conversation, but that was the deal.
Right.
He would allow me to live and go and do what I wanted to do. But I have to work, and I have to be, I have to be on point, and I have to really grind for it. And it's already been written.
So you're feeling that, like, oh, you need to focus on your art and your career and shit, like that. That was the feeling that God was kind of giving to you.
Not kinda. That was the only option.
Damn.
It was music and your dreams. Because, Airheads and my weed shit, like all that shit is cool, but that's not me. I've been rapping since I was 10 years old.
Right.
Songs recorded, like this is really my dream. Like this is like the weed shit helps to, fund the dream. But at a certain point, you get so up that you forget about the music shit. And I'm not saying that I've done that, but I know that that's been a thing that a lot of people in history, like, my dad, for example, like he was way up back in the 70s and he was a guitar player. He's like, at any moment, I could have spent $100K and motherfucking put my career into out of here in the 70s. But he's like, no, like you get so up at a certain point, you're like,
all right, people, we just hit 300,000 subscribers. We're trying to hit 400,000 subscribers. So that little red button, tap it, tap in. Appreciate y'all.